1015 FM, 720 AM. KDON, the talk of Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. 1 full hour of wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's bring on the tag team of Andrew Fish Fain, Joe DeFalco, and your host, Mark Hoke.
The mic shocked me. Ah!
That means you lose the Intercontinental Champion. Oh, wait, no, you don't lose it yet. We'll wait till next week for that.
Ouch! Oh, dear God. The world of professional wrestling, kids. Suspending reality. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do every morning here on our Sunday morning on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for being with us.
Suspend reality?
Yeah, because I can't believe that I have two great co-hosts like I do. Even when they're...
Why? Who's on with me today? Somebody new?
Wow. Click. Ouch.
Click. This isn't the DeFalco Files, which, of course, is available on fswvegas.com. So he gave some love, even though he crushed me. First, Andrew Fish Fain.
No, apparently I'm not good enough to be on with Joe, so, you know.
Screw you. I'm going him.
Yeah, thank you, Cartman.
Wow. Of course, you'll get to hear Fish on Monday night, and I believe you said Wednesday night this week.
Yeah, that is correct. Live from Steiner's Pub.
He'll be on Sports X Radio.
Yeah, he'll be giving out the free winner for the Super Bowl today.
Ah, there you go.
And I'll be right both before and after the game.
Well, I'm not betting it, so I do hope you win.
Who you liking?
The Rams are going to dominate this game. Everyone thinks it's going to be 34-10 Rams.
Wow.
Yeah, a domination, according to Fish, and I think he's dead wrong, but that's okay. Joe DeFalco's over here, too, calling in from New York. What dedication.
Yeah, it is. I woke up. I went out last night, and it was like the nicest day out here. It was like 50 degrees, and I woke up. It was like 6:30 in the morning this time, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, it looks pretty white out there. It's like it was snowing all night. There's like 4 inches of snow out here now.
Nice. Really? It's like, what, 75 degrees here today?
Yeah, that's what I saw. When I left, it was like 72. I'm like, I left for the 70s. I'll be back in the 60s.
So Joe's moving furniture now in the snow. Sorry, buddy.
Ouch.
Yeah, and of course, the biggest piece I can't get rid of, so it's like we're going to have to try to figure out how to get it downstairs through slushy snow.
Well, that's why they make axes. Oh, and of course, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. We are, of course, every week covering the world of professional wrestling here on KDWN 1015 FM, 720 AM, the talk of Las Vegas. You betcha.
We're less than a week away from that big event in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Sorry, from the cash grab in Saudi Arabia.
From the book, the good guys to win most of the matches.
Yeah.
I
Series.
heard Bruno Sammartino's coming back for a big payday on that one.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wonder if David Sammartino
But yeah, I mean, but the biggest problem is with any event between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is you know who's going to win because they pretty much have already set up the WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, but not necessarily. We've seen crazier things happen at the chamber in the Saudi Arabia show.
That is very
Did
true.
Bray Wyatt lose the title there?
Yes, he did.
But when somebody says, I'm going to Goldberg. Oh, he's not beating Roman Reigns. Just stop.
Goldberg. Anyway.
Maybe Brock Lesnar's going to cost him the title.
Hijinks and shenanigans.
And tomfoolery.
You know, it's always good to people. You know, it's great when you see people stand their ground, and it's funny how Lita has such negative things to say about Saudi Arabia. But she's going.
Yeah, she's going.
Wait, how many zeros? Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that place.
It's not so bad now, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know.
Well, we're going to talk about that and get our predictions in for Elimination Chamber. That is the WWE premium event.
Yes.
Not a pay-per-view anymore. It's a premium premium live event.
Did I hear correctly that Fastlane is no longer? Now there's a different premium event in between now and WrestleMania?
I've got to take a look. I'll punch that up when I get
it's like
a second.
The day after tomorrow or something?
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Yeah, it's called Slow Lane.
All right. Well, but first, before we get into WWE, because I do want to be able to segue properly into the Elimination Chamber predictions, we had a little fun with AEW this week. As
new signee.
2 of them. Of course,
3.
Yeah, 3 actually. It was another one happened last night.
One yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. I happen to have caught that.
Yes.
We had, of course, Tony Khan had to apologize for improperly using the term Forbidden Door, which is usually refers to either bringing somebody over from New Japan or somebody who's under contract to another organization, said that the person coming through the Forbidden Door was going to wrestle Isaiah Cassidy. Well, that wasn't quite the case. But to his credit, Tony Khan did go out, and while Jay White's tour in America, the Sunday before the show, got Jay White on. Of course, the only guy to win the Grand Slam in New Japan. Shows up, bangs a couple heads, and beat up Orange Cassidy on Friday. So Jay White is now All Elite. Fish, you look like you're going to vomit in your mouth or something. So
I did, so there you go.
Fair enough. And, of course, the new signee, who, in my opinion, did one of the greatest heel throws I've ever seen. Jim Cornette actually agreed with that. Limitless Keith Lee is now All Elite as he shows up in AEW.
All bow to his glory.
There you go. So, and actually got to show a little character in the ring instead of being a stiff bearcat. So Keith Lee joins All Elite Wrestling. Guys, your thoughts on Jay White and Keith Lee hitting the AEW ring?
I think it showed how WWE wasted Keith Lee, because Keith Lee could have been is a phenomenal worker and showed what he could do with his size and strength. So I that's the one thing that it does show that where AEW was smarter than WWE in the way they're going to book Keith Lee. Hopefully, my problem is with all these people that AEW are bringing in, they're not going to have enough spots for everybody, and people are going to start getting upset because they're going to go, wait a minute, where's my time?
Yeah, and Tony Khan did say, I'm going to have to start clearing house.
Well,
go ahead, Joe.
I disagree on them saying they never pushed Keith Lee, because they gave him the NXT title. I think he got the U.S. title. They kind of buried him at the end. But initially he was, and before they pulled him for whatever reason, he was scheduled to win, I think, the Intercontinental or the U.S. title again. Then something just went severely downhill. But the most exciting thing I feel about the Keith Lee signing is we get to see Brian Cage in an AEW ring real soon, getting beat up by Keith Lee on his way out.
I know Cage asked for that match. I haven't heard an announcement, but that would be fun.
One of the best matches we ever had in FSW was Keith Lee, Brian Cage, and Callahan in a 3-way. So
there you go.
I know Cage is a big fan of Keith Lee. He was the one who recommended Keith Lee to me when we were putting together the first Mecca. I was not aware of Keith Lee. He was this guy in Texas who was doing very well there. And, Cage kind of helped him with his career and said, hey, dude, you're really good. You need to get out, out of Texas. You need to, spread your wings. And he helped Keith Lee a lot. So I know they're pretty tight.
Yeah. So that would be a great match to see. I would certainly enjoy that. Cage and Lee. Yeah.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
Absolutely. So, we'll see what happens.
Styles, but it would still be phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, Cage was asking for it. So, maybe he'll get to do a decent job for him on the way out the door.
And for Jay White, I'd rather have seen Chris Bay show up.
Wouldn't necessarily disagree with you on that. Of course, but I think they did that right with Jay White, because they didn't bring him in the ring the first time. They had him doing a outside segment where he, I forgot who it was, he threw into a truck, but because Jay White isn't going to get the pop that Keith Lee did. But I will say this: Keith Lee was over when he walked out and then did the Beal throw, and it was done, and everybody's happy. Keith Lee had a great debut. And good
absolutely. But like I said, the problem's going to be, and I know Tony Khan's addressed it, he's going to have all of a sudden a roster like the WWE's roster was, which becomes way too bloated.
Right. What's going to happen when Adam Cole finally comes over to AEW?
Yeah, he's there.
And,
Funny guy.
And Brian Cage is a perfect example of that. He's a phenomenal talent. We saw him wrestle at Mecca. He was absolutely fantastic, and he's being completely underutilized, so he's leaving AEW. And that's going to happen to a lot of the guys on that roster.
Well, I'm really wondering what the story is with Cage. Because a lot of people are saying...
I can't get the info out of him.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he ticked people off backstage, and the wife made some comments that didn't go over well either. So we'll find out probably when he leaves. But one more guy that came into AEW, and what a great story this is. The 16-year-old phenom Nick Wayne,
Mass Transit. Oh wait, sorry.
Is last night at a Defy promotion show. Got surprised supposedly by Darby Allin, and after he wrestled his match against Christopher Daniels, and was offered an AEW contract. So the 16-year-old's
and.
Prodigy. Of course, he's a third-generation wrestler.
Let me bring that up to you real quick, Joe. And this is—I'm not sure how the legalities of the work. At 16, is he allowed to wrestle?
It depends. It depends in certain situations. He was scheduled to be part of the GCW show at the Hammerstein, but in New York, they had to pull him from the card because of his age. So I'm going to assume where there's state commissions, he can't wrestle. But in Nevada, there's not a commission. And in Washington State, where he wrestles, there's not a commission, obviously. He wrestles all over California. So he wrestles a lot throughout the U.S. So I can't believe if he's able to work there, he couldn't work for AEW, So it was pretty interesting. I just read that a couple minutes ago when I was looking. I'm like, oh, holy cow, Nick Wayne just signed.
Yeah.
Nice.
That adds...
I heard they said it's an apprenticeship contract, which I don't know what that means. Maybe he has to carry Tony Khan's bags till he turns 18.
Well, according to Wrestling Observer, it is an apprenticeship deal where Wayne has to finish high school.
Oh, good Lord.
So
before he gets Bruce Wayne's millions?
Before he gets a full-fledged contract. But that is pretty cool. Of course, the son of Buddy Wayne, who passed away a few years ago.
He should come to the ring as Batman, because he could be, Nick Wayne turning into Batman.
Go away.
And he could have a little ward named Dick Grayson.
I'm Fishman.
There you go.
Yeah, we ended up using him at the anniversary show. A couple of the younger guys hit me up. They're like, "Oh yeah, Nick Wayne's going to be here." I'm like, "Okay." I didn't know he was. I knew he was young. That's all I knew. Young kid, braces, curly hair. So you figured he's about 18, 19 years old. Like I didn't find out till after the show. The kid was only, just turned 16 at the time. I was like, "Holy cow!"
Well, what'd you think of him?
I thought he was really talented. Like he reminded me of Jungle Boy when we first started using Jungle Boy. And it's a similar situation there where Jungle Boy, I just felt needed to get more reps. And when he signed that exclusive contract with AEW and they didn't run for like a year, it kind of stunted his growth to where it would have been more beneficial for him to get out there and get work. But for a 16-year-old, man, this guy's getting booked a lot. As we have a young kid, Bodie, who's only 14, and, Bodie's starting to make the rounds now. So in a couple of years, you're probably going to see that name somewhere.
Yeah, and of course, it adds to the stockpile of young talent that AEW's got. I mean, if they can hold these young guys together, oh, baby. They're going to be loaded for a long time.
And the good thing about Nick Wayne is his dad was Buddy Wayne,
right?
So he probably learned things the right way because Buddy Wayne had a great reputation. So he's not just some kid who decided he wanted to wrestle and probably able to latch on bad habits. Probably his father taught him at a very young age. So hopefully he's, from what he seemed like, but hopefully, he's still really grounded and, takes this serious and, isn't there looking to party and get messed up.
Yeah. And of course his dad passed away a few years ago, a heart condition. And he's also the grandson of Moondog Moretti. So they've, wrestling's in that family. So, Nick Wayne's not going to be a flash in the pan. He's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. One thing he needs to do, he's a tall, lanky kid, so it ain't like he's small, but he definitely needs to put on some weight because he's pretty skinny.
And speaking of that, I wanted to ask you something too, because Hook was on Rampage again on Friday night, and I'll tell you what, he continues to impress. I love the way he carries himself, the way he does things in the ring. But, does Hook need to bulk up too? I mean, is this situation, obviously he's still young, I think 22 or 23. Joe, if you were just looking at him, do you, with the style that he has, the way he does things, does he need to bulk up, or is he okay the way he is?
Well, everything in wrestling is presentation and how you look. So if you look like a skinny kid, no matter how, good you are in a shoot mode in wrestling, and of course, you see amateur wrestling and you see guys that aren't very big, but it's the perception of what people want to believe. They want to see the larger than life characters. So, he's got going for him, hey, he's Taz's kid. So that gives him a heads up on people already. And I'm pretty sure the reason he got signed was because he was Taz's kid, not because he's been scouted all over. And it's like, oh, we need to sign this dude. Obviously these second and third and fourth generation wrestlers, they have a better in than, anybody else, because there's a lot of great talent out there. But if you look the part, then you can get more people behind you. When you see Killer Cross and you saw Chris Bay come to the fold, it was very easy for the crowd to get behind Cross because they saw a guy that could be a monster, and then he opened his mouth and it was like, oh man, this is one bad dude. While Chris Bay had to continually get better, and at 150 pounds, he had to get people to watch numerous matches for them to see, oh wow, this kid can go. So right from the get-go, he's at a disadvantage. So if you're 150, 160 pounds, it takes a while. Look at Shawn Michaels. It took him 10 years for anybody to care about him in the singles. They kept him in the tag team the whole time.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, because they didn't perceive him as a main guy because of his size, even Bret Hart.
Yeah, Braun Breaker is on the other side of that because he has that body type to be huge, no pun intended, and I think that it works very well for him. And the fact that he's a second-generation wrestler absolutely helps him, obviously.
Oh, and you have
100%. Same thing with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, and then you have somebody like Jade Cargill who's just got the body of a Greek goddess, but she's still learning. But it's just, her build is just, no wonder WWE is already drooling to try and get her in there. She's Bianca Belair, but more toned.
Yeah, more cut,
which is scary.
Speaking of women, I hear Rousey had a tryout recently, and WWE is very high on her.
Yep, apparently they offered her a contract, so the former Ring of Honor women's champion could be headed to a WWE ring soon, and then, for better or worse.
And then they're going to put her in some sort of...
it was going to be Tessa Blanchard when I saw the headline. I'm like, oh, she's finally getting an offer. Nope.
And then they're going to put her in some hip-hop faction that they're going to call up and then get rid of her a week later.
That's right. They're going to bring Wolfie D back. It's going to be Wolfie D and Roxy.
Wow.
And they'll enter the song Axel F.
Maybe Heath Slater will come back. There'll be a new 3MB.
Oh, good Lord.
Joe DeFalco and Andrew the Fish Fain just make my brain explode on Sundays. By the way, this is the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for being with us here on KDW.
Tank Abbott when you need him for 3 count.
Wow.
Forgot all about 3 count.
Well, speaking of...
Tank Abbott really turned that group into the new NSYNC, I'll tell you, when he came on board.
Didn't he, though?
Let's find Tyrus. We'll get him back as the Funkasaurus, too.
Oh, good Lord.
He's a little busy
what is
right
he,
now.
Jonah now?
No, he's Tyrus.
Isn't he? I thought he was Jonah.
No,
that Jonah guy can wrestle a little bit.
No. But speaking of names from the past that have continued to pop up, we have a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion crowned last night. Fish, stop rolling your eyes. And Joe, I know you're not a big NWA fan, and I know it isn't the NWA of old, but give this dude credit. Matt Cardona, of course, formerly Zack Ryder, who had won the GCW title, has a few other belts. He's the Impact digital champion, is now the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, beating Trevor Murdoch last night in Oak Grove, Kentucky.
Matt Cardona is awesome. I love Matt Cardona. I'm trying to get him to wrestle Killer Cross.
That would be amazing. Fish, you are not a Matt Cardona fan.
I am not, because to me he's always just a mid-card guy, and I think that I guess he's showing his skills off a little bit more since he left WWE. But
that's very nice calling him a mid-card guy, because I don't think he was even a low-card guy.
He won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but that was years ago when he was over and people cared, and then they said, see, we're going to just pull that right away from you, and we're going to bury you for the rest of your WWE career.
He did win the tag titles with
Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, with Kurt Hawkins. Breaking Kurt Hawkins' losing streak. That was legendary.
That was their only win, I think.
Yeah.
It was, actually.
It was.
They won one match, and then...
It was. But give Matt Cardona credit. I mean, the dude totally
reinvented himself.
Again.
He was the perfect guy in GCW to come in and be that anti-guy, because he came from WWE. You know, I would have thought he would have been a guy that GCW would embrace, but the way they set that up, it was brilliant. That was one of the best stories going along in wrestling in that last year, that GCW got hot and Matt Cardona was like, oh, man, he won the title. Man, that was fantastic.
Yeah, which, he's the absolute opposite of the guy that you would think would win the GCW title. And, now he's parlayed it into the NWA title, and who knows? We'll see what the future holds for him. But he's doing well. Got to give the dude credit.
It's better than Trevor Murdoch having it. Come on.
Yeah, how did they... I got a question taking the belt off Nick Aldis for Trevor Murdoch, but...
Yeah, me too.
Whatever.
Well, now it looks like Aldis is going after Cardona, which should be some interesting stuff. And unfortunately, my good friend Chris Masters lost his title at the NWA show I saw.
Yes, he did. So
super guy. Love Chris Masters.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get to see him in an FSW ring sometime.
Yes, we actually talked about, we were trying to line him up against Remy Marcel before we got Willie Mack.
I can see that match. Now that I've seen how Remy Marcel wrestle, I could see Remy Marcel against him, and that would be a phenomenal match as well.
Yep, there you go. And
yeah, Chris is a good dude. He's out of Cali, good friends with Davari, so he actually tried out for the role in Ka that Mason Ryan got.
Nice.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Wow.
Joe DeFalco dropping the knowledge.
Oh man, I'll tell
Unbelievable. Just call me the encyclopedia.
The wealth. He is not a wealth of misinformation. He is a wealth of a fountain of
information.
A fountain of knowledge is Joe DeFalco at Future Stars of Wrestling. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Future Stars of Wrestling,
you have to.
You gotta.
Oh my God!
Yeah, running great events.
Like I said,
all the time.
That Mecca event was just massively incredible.
Yeah, you gotta go to fswvegas.com, or if you want to get involved in pro wrestling, they have the FSW Academy down there too. So.
If only I was like 20 years younger.
Could you make Fish something in wrestling, Joe? Is it possible?
Well, we'll have to work on him on his mic work, but other than that, yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, my God. That was painful.
I figured I could be a young Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, he cost Hulk Hogan the championship years ago.
Very true. All right.
Represented Giant Gonzalez, I believe.
No, it was The Undertaker. When he took the picture, he was the sideline photographer.
He was the photographer that burned Hogan's eyes.
Yes, but I believe he was the manager for Giant Gonzalez at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was the manager for him.
Yes, he was, of course.
That amazing outfit they
the
threw that guy
almost
in.
of the 1990s.
Yes. See? That's a great comparison. I use that too. All right, we're going to step back and take a break. When we come back, a lot going on in WWE, and of course, we have to get our Elimination Chamber picks in. So make sure you follow us at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. We're everywhere, of course, podcasts on Podbean. So,
still taking bets on Dominic turning on Ray.
Stop it. We'll be right back.
.1015 FM, 720 AM, KDON, the talk of Las Vegas.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh my God, we were just talking about the situation that happened at the Phoenix Open where I forget who it was that hit the hole in one, but they have stands on both sides and the beers were just flying everywhere and onto the course. And
Happy Gilmore?
It might as well have been, but it devolved very quickly.
Yes. It was cool, though.
It was very cool.
I haven't seen a beer shower like that since Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I was just going to say Steve Austin, but it makes golf more watchable, yet all the golf people are like, oh no, how you've ruined our sport.
Danny, are you on the side of goodness?
How about a Fresca?
Or badness? How about a Fresca? Yeah, okay. Oh, God, we are back on the Mark Hoke Show.
Caddyshack, though, one of the greatest films of all time.
It's my favorite movie ever. Of course, talking pro wrestling, and now we get to get into WWE, of course, with myself, Mark Hoke, Andrew Fish Fain.
Yay!
You see, he's pepping up.
I'm the face.
You are not a face in this group. Joe DeFalco.
Boo! See, he's the heel.
I'm the face. What are you talking about?
No, I am the face.
Oh, good Lord. If you're the face, we're in trouble.
I'm the face that runs the place, baby. That's how this goes.
Oh, good Lord.
Know your role.
And shut your mouth. You know what I think? It doesn't matter what you think.
There you go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the happenings in WWE. I did want to mention this first before we start digging into the craziness on Raw and SmackDown. Mustafa Ali is still held hostage. Went out. I don't
know if that's quite the right term to use for a guy named Mustafa Ali, but
whatever.
Yeah, poor guy.
I'm past
How is he going to live on that $50,000-$60,000 a month just sitting home?
He put out a tweet that said, "I'll see you in 2.5 years," and everybody blew it up on Twitter. Let him go. Let him out of his contract.
Free Mustafa.
Just free Mustafa Ali was the hashtag.
I'm sure it was.
Close.
But the problem is, and as I explained to you, the problem is if WWE just says, fine, we'll let you go, then anybody who wants out can go to them and say, let me go, and they'll have to keep doing it. That's why you can't let them go. It's the same reason, like I said, you can't give into a ransom demand because then everyone will get kidnapped because they know you're going to give into the demand.
Yeah, and of course the other side says, well, they can release you at any time, so why can't you get out if you want to leave? And
because that's the power of being the owner of the company.
There you go. That's how the business works.
You know, I hate it in football, but I get it in football. You know, everybody wants to renegotiate.
Yeah, and so, of course, I I even saw on AEW there was somebody that had a free Ali sign.
I mean, it stinks for Mustafa Ali, but I totally understand the WWE's point of view there.
Yeah, and plus, he had gotten in an argument with Vince McMahon a while back about his character, and then went public requesting his release.
And that was his mistake.
Instead of saying, "Hey,
that guy wasn't even a mid-card guy. Who cares? Just get rid of him. Save yourself $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Get rid of him. Who cares?" He did that other angle with Retribution was miserable. You know, when he's gotten the opportunity, they wanted to see Kofi Kingston instead of him. Like, what has he done other than WWE put him in a position to succeed? And he really didn't. He got the opportunity. They pushed him down our throats.
And he did get hurt,
he was
too.
Moderately over.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, I would probably ditch him, too. You know, just even though somebody on Twitter said, you know, let him go down to a week before his contract and then release him, and then he's got to sit out another 90 days. There's no compete clause. That would be horrible.
And that would be Vince McMahon.
You guys let Jeff Hardy go. You're going to worry about Mustafa Ali? Come on.
Right.
So it's obviously just Vince McMahon. I'll show you, you punk kid.
That's exactly what it is.
I think it's pure vindictiveness. But that's what you get when you cross the boss.
I say send him to Saudi Arabia. You never know if he gets back on the plane.
Give him a rematch with Mansoor this week.
Oh, good Lord.
Actually, wasn't.
Is Mansoor wrestling in this event? Because he's going to win.
He is not on the card.
He's going to win if he's in the event.
He's not on the card at this point.
It's a mystery entrant in the Battle Royal and win again.
He's a mystery entrant in the women's Elimination Chamber match is Mansoor.
There are odds on him. I'm betting him whether he's in the match or not.
All right. So let's talk about what happened on Raw and SmackDown before we get into our Elimination Chamber predictions because, I hate to be the
Grinch?
The armchair booker. But what the hell are they doing? Break that. This is what happened this week on WWE broadcasting. AJ Styles beats the U.S. champion Damon Priest. He loses again. So he continues his losing streak after being undefeated for over a year. Kevin Owens, after losing to Austin Theory in
beats
the
Austin
qualifying
Theory.
match, turns around and beats Austin Theory this week.
It was a good match, though.
Well, still, doesn't matter. It's
still a good match.
Over. RK Bro wins this month-long academic challenge to get a rematch for their titles, and instantly comes out and they lose to Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. That was Raw. Let's go to SmackDown, shall we? Just for fun. Los Lotharios knocks off Big E and Kofi Kingston. So the team that was getting pushed and then got buried now beats. You can't call them New Day now with only two of them. Los Lotharios sends Big E even further down the dumper.
And by the way, Joe, that is Vince McMahon's new edict. If there's only two of them, they cannot be the New Day.
Natalia beats
I was
Aaliyah.
wondering what you were talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to this. Natalia beats Aaliyah after Aaliyah was getting wins on her. So the new girl that was getting pushed, down she goes. Holy, and Cesaro, by the way,
buried
jobbed
even
out
deeper
again. I mean, that dude is in the molten core of the earth. He's buried so deep as he loses to Happy Corbin. You've got to be kidding me. What are they doing? Are they just flipping a coin backstage and saying who's going to win tonight? Because there seems to be no
Drew had a big sit down with your boy Moss.
Yeah.
My boy? He's not my boy, that's for sure.
And Roman Reigns promised to Goldberg.
You have the greatest performers in the world in this company. And this is what you're doing with them. You are making people care less and less and less about any of these characters except for a couple.
They had Charlotte win again, though.
Yeah, SmackDown was saved by that Charlotte and Naomi match. That was a great match, even though you know who was. The only downside was you knew Charlotte was going to win.
But the Kevin Owens Austin Theory match was also a great match. And that's 2 weeks in a row those two have put on a great match.
But it doesn't. But the question is why.
Well, I mean, because they're trying to further the storyline now of Kevin Owens, because something's going to happen where Kevin Owens is going to take a spot in the Elimination Chamber. That was why they had him be Austin Theory. Because that was the whole thing going in, is if I can beat him, Seth Rollins, you can back me up and I can get in the Elimination Chamber and take his spot.
Well, they said no. So.
Well, they said no, but that will change. I guarantee you something's going to happen.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, maybe before he enters the pod, they'll
like Edge did to Kofi Kingston years ago.
Maybe they could share a pod.
That or setting up that Rollins doesn't help Owens like Owens thinks he should, and then Owens being Owens then turns on his new best friend, which he does constantly, Seth Rollins.
This is getting a little convoluted, just like WWE's booking style.
Exactly.
Right? Joe, what are your thoughts on this booking style they're taking? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, but it's consistent on what they do. That's what they do. I win this week, you win next week.
50-50 bookings, exactly.
So it's like nobody. So how does Austin Theory get pushed to the next level if after he beats Kevin Owens, he then loses to Kevin Owens? So he basically just stayed in the same exact spot he was in. It was just a way to produce 2 weeks of television.
Right.
Nothing has changed.
There's no long-term. It seems like there's nothing long-term.
They focus on, all they do is focus on who Vince sees as the Mount Rushmore, which is the Reigns and the Lesnar, and somehow, it took a long time, but, Lashley, and there's just a few, and then they rotate in and out when they feel like pushing AJ, and they feel like pushing Owens, and they feel like pushing Rollins, and, they have that second tier. Like, how... I don't know who's been used worse, Edge or Christian. Like, what is Christian, like the mouthpiece for Jurassic Park? Jurassic Express.
No, yeah, but and the problem with the WWE booking is you have to have like a Seth Rollins win his matches, because otherwise you think there's no shot of. In other words, these guys have to win to build up so they have a chance. You think they have a chance to win in the Elimination Chamber. If they're losing all the time, they have no shot, which is the problem with Austin Theory. Now that he's lost, it's like, well, he has no shot. So AJ Styles has to beat Damian Priest, because Priest isn't in the chamber match. AJ Styles is. If AJ Styles keeps losing, it's like, well, if he's going to lose to Damian Priest, he can't win the Elimination Chamber.
Do you hear what you just said? Play that back.
Put AJ Styles against Damian Priest. You know what I mean? But it's like, you want to start a losing streak. What you need to do is win a secondary title in WWE. And the minute you win that title, you now become the jobber. And whether it's the U.S. champ, whether it's the tag team champs, the next guys they want to push, those are the ones who are going to win to beat you to get the title shots. So normally, at least, you're going to set up, AJ's going to go after Damian Priest, but he's not. So it's an even bigger waste to have Damian Priest lose to him.
I've never seen a company have their champions lose so many times. And it used to not be like that. You think back to some great Intercontinental title reigns like Randy Savage and so on. Yeah, you'd lose DQ matches and things like that because you're a heel, but it's just unreal to see what they
never. Well, Macho Man Randy Savage never lost as the Intercontinental Champion in non-title matches. Bret Hart never lost.
Even the Honky Tonk Man never lost.
Only when he wrestled Macho Man Savage in the non-titles.
Yeah,
I was there at the Garden for that.
There you go. And I'll tell you, the one that really shocked me was Los Lotharios going over on the New Day.
They're not the New Day.
I'm still calling them the New Day.
Well, what they're doing is they're looking to set up a feud. They're going to bring back Carlito's brothers, and they're going to feud with them.
Oh, the Colognes, yes. Yeah. Primo and Epico.
They're going to have a Caribbean tag team titles that they're going to be
Jesus.
Maybe Los Boricuas can come back.
There you go. Savio Vega's still wrestling.
Yeah, the only reason that I see this happening is some sort of split, possibly with the New Day, but
that means either Big E or Kofi's turning heel.
I think Kofi.
Big E's got to turn heel.
That would be
the big monster guy. At least if he turns heel, he's credible to go after a Bobby Lashley. We've seen they're not going to have Kofi Kingston beat up Bobby Lashley.
I think Kofi Kingston would be a fun heel, though. Of course, when the New Day's been heels before.
They started out as heels, and it just didn't work because everyone started loving them.
Yeah. So I would.
That's right. When they're doing the whole Unicorn Stampede, they were heels.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kofi Kingston go heel. Like I said, Big E's the ideal, but I wouldn't complain about that.
If Big E's going to get out of the rut, obviously he's not winning the way he is being presented now. All you can do is usually that's the foreshadow of the turn is now Big E went from the champion to basically mid-card fodder, and if you want to turn that around, he's their guy that they've looked at as a potential champion, so he's the one who's got to go heel.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Speaking of champions, this one kind of blew me away too. They had to do tapings for SmackDown for this coming week
because they'll be in the air.
They'll be flying to Saudi Arabia. We have a new Intercontinental Champion.
I looked on WWE.com. I didn't see it.
It's on there.
Okay, I believe you. I
They
just
announced
didn't see
it, which that shocked me. They announced that a match that is taped and going to be playing later this week took place, and Sami Zayn is the new Intercontinental Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura got a whole whopping 2 defenses in 183 days.
But that's all that matters. He held the title for 183 days. That's all they look at now. Title defenses don't matter.
It's unreal.
No, to me, and you're right. That is absolutely ridiculous. They used to at least defend the title.
But, and he had 2 title defenses. So he had 46 matches. He was 2-44.
Yeah, basically.
It's unreal. But, well, congrats to Sami Zayn. Getting the Intercontinental title.
They're setting up for your guy, Fish. Boogs is going to take the belt for Sami Zayn.
Boogs.
But I just thought of something. Do you realize, of course, Sami Zayn had gone out to the Jackass premiere,
right,
and invaded that. Could they possibly be doing something with Johnny Knoxville?
No.
Johnny
Wrestling for the Intercontinental
Champion.
I'm at WrestleMania?
I am not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Oh, no, it's going to happen. That's why I said no, because it's going to happen.
That's money. That's money right there. Good thinking.
And maybe Bad Bunny will never mind.
Oh, let's have it.
Right, and then Wee Man comes out to save Knoxville, and then Bad Bunny comes out. Yeah, there we go. We're setting it up.
And Bam Margera could come out and clock Johnny Knoxville, costing him as the...
Didn't Bam Margera die?
No, that was Ryan Dunn.
Oh, okay.
That was Ryan
I knew one of those
Bam
jackasses
Margera got
died.
ostracized because he is, I guess, all drugged out or something.
Yeah. So,
And he got kicked off. He was mad, and he's suing all of them because they didn't put him in the movie.
yep. So maybe we get some Bam Margera outside interference, but God, that's just a sick thought.
Bam Margera.
Of course, we are on the Mark Hoke Show. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on KDWN 1015 FM, 720 AM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Andrew Fish Fain. And by the way, if you like what you're hearing from Fish, well, even if you don't, still tune into Sports X Radio. He always is there Monday night with Bernard Barnes.
And maybe one Monday night I'll be able to announce that Dominic turned on Ray and that Ava Marie came back.
We can only hope.
I hate you guys
And then
so much.
Dominic and Eva Marie form an alliance.
I like it. See?
I was
a
gonna
mixed tag team.
I was going to say something nice about, of course, the Fish 1969 on Twitter.
Woohoo.
And, of course, Joe DeFalco, future stars of wrestling here in Las Vegas, runs that promotion. Great job. One of the best independent promotions in the country. No doubt about it.
You can get rid of the word independent. Just one of the best promotions in the country.
Period. Yeah. Just go to
Just
FSW.
for you, Fish, I'm going to reach out to Eva Marie and try to get her our next big show, the next Mecca.
Oh, I will be there front row.
You get hurt.
If you have a wrestling Scarlet, I'll buy out the front row.
There you go. You got a front row sold. All right, so let's get to this Elimination Chamber, the premium live event.
Weren't they going to change the name of it? I guess they didn't. I thought they were going to change the name of.
I heard they were going to do that too, but what are you going to call it?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's an elimination chamber.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those that don't know what the elimination chamber is, it is a giant domed steel cage where they have 5 pods, excuse me. And 2 people, well, actually it's 4 pods,
yeah.
excuse me. 2 people start the match off, the other 4 guys are in the pods, and then every few minutes they let somebody out.
And Kalisto jumps off the roof of the cage.
It's still awesome.
And the great thing about the pod is they're going to leave it in Saudi Arabia, and then the worst criminals get to be put in it and have to stay there. So they gave the WWE an extra $10 million just to keep it.
Yeah, and maybe Otis can go right through it again like he did last year or 2 years ago.
Saving on shipping.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's take a look at the card, and we do have the betting odds. We're in Las Vegas. We got to do the betting odds. There are no betting odds on the women's match, and give me 1 second.
That's because the 6th member is still a question mark.
That is correct.
That don't matter. They'll put 10 people. Ronda Rousey wasn't even assigned with them, and she was on the board.
They have not posted it, but we have an Elimination Chamber match for a shot at the Raw Women's title. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Doudrop, Nikki ASH, Liv Morgan, and the dreaded TBD.
And I think TBD is either going to be Bayley, Lacey Evans, or Asuka.
Good possibility. So, guys, are you going to take TBD? Do you have the guts to do it?
To be all joking aside, it depends on who TBD is. If it's Bayley, yes.
Well, TBD is Shogun and Hero, so I don't know. I didn't know they were going to be there.
Okay.
I like that. See that?
Nice plug.
Yes, but if it's Bayley, I think she wins. If not, I think right now they're pushing Doudrop awfully heavy, so I'll go with Doudrop.
Joe, who do you think's going to take this one?
So they're pushing the girl really hard that they gave a title match to and lost.
Basically.
Well, they've already buried Liv Morgan.
Yeah, but she just squashed, no pun intended, she just squashed Liv Morgan last Monday.
I'm going to pick Charlotte Flair. She'll be TBD. She'll wrestle twice because she's Charlotte Flair.
Wow.
Yes, she is.
Joe's going off the board. Boy, do I take TBD.
I'm telling you, it's Bayley, and she's going to win it. Setting up Bayley.
I'm going to agree with you. It might be Rasha Saeed. I think she's going to make a return.
If TBD is Bayley, I'm in. Otherwise, I will, just for fun, take Rhea Ripley to fill in that.
Do you really think they'd bring her back and not, announce it? I don't know.
Well, they like surprises on occasion there, too. So.
And it's not like they can bring in more people to the live event here in the States if they announce it or not.
Yeah, it don't matter. They're getting $500 million or whatever.
Exactly.
All right. We have Drew McIntyre, once again, how the mighty have fallen, against Madcap Moss. Drew McIntyre is a -600, Madcap Moss a +350. Is there any way that you would even put $1 on Madcap Moss, Fish?
No. And if they have Madcap Moss win, if I'm Drew McIntyre, I quit. Right then and there, I just walk out of the company.
Well, the thing is with WWE, it doesn't matter. They'll have, McIntyre, beat them both up the week after to get his heat back, and having him lose, it's worth $1. But again, it's not even a SmackDown, semi-main event. It's like a curtain jerker, and it's on a major pay-per-view. For what reason? I don't know. I guess because Sami Zayn can't wrestle there.
I think we spent too much time on that match already. Drew McIntyre wins. We got an interesting tag match that has just taken place, and I don't think they have odds up on that one. They do not. Charlotte Flair and Sonia Deville taking on Ronda Rousey and Naomi. This one just created this.
Yeah, you're not going to have Ronda Rousey lose any match at any point soon. So Ronda Rousey and Naomi win that match.
Joe?
Yeah, but they won't pin probably Charlotte Flair.
No, absolutely not. And it'll probably be an arm bar on Sonya Deville.
Good possibility. I think I'll agree with you there. I'll take Rousey and Naomi to win that one. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We know they like the good guys to win. They probably might need a title change here. Just throwing it out. The Usos will be defending against the Viking Raiders. Used to be a favorite team of mine until WWE screwed them up. We have the Usos at -500, Viking Raiders +300. Fish.
They're not making any title changes. The Usos keep the titles.
Joe?
They shouldn't make a title change because nobody cares about the Viking Raiders, so I'll go with the Usos.
Yeah, I got to take the Usos on this one too. To me, no doubt about it. But once again, that's one that
they like to do things in Saudi Arabia. If we could get the inside info from the vice president of Saudi Arabia, we might be able to get the winners because I think they booked the show.
They probably do. Raw Women's Championship, as Lita comes back after about 12 years out of the ring. She will be facing Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. One of the biggest betting odds. Becky Lynch -1,500 against Lita's 575.
I would put money on Lita to win by DQ. She's not going to win the title, but I think she wins the match.
Wow. All right. Joe?
I think she could win the match. It's Saudi Arabia. They like the legends. They had to pay Lita a ton of money to go there, so why have her lose?
Interesting. I'm still going to stay with Becky Lynch on this, but see the points.
I mean, it could be a count out. Becky Lynch takes the title, walks out of the ring.
I'll take the 575 all day.
All right. Maybe I'll get in on that with you, even though I will publicly state my support for Becky Lynch winning the match. We have the WWE World Championship Elimination Chamber match. Bobby Lashley will be defending against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Riddle, Austin Theory, AJ Styles. We got about 2 minutes, guys. So we got one more match after this. Fish, who you got?
I don't know how you can have Brock Lesnar lose, so I'm going to say Brock Lesnar wins it and wins the title.
And Lesnar is a +100, Lashley +150, Rollins +250, Styles +600, Riddle +700, Austin Theory +2,500. Joe.
Yeah, the odds show that nobody knows where it's going to go at that point. So, yeah, that I'll tell you what, there's a lot of intrigue by having Lesnar in the match. I got no idea. I can't see Lesnar taking a pin. But how was Lashley going to take a pin? So, I don't know. I'll go with Lesnar.
Could Seth Rollins walk out with the title?
Austin Theory, 2,500.
No.
You could be rich.
No, but you know what? I think Lesnar's going to walk out with it. I just can't see.
Which makes no sense why they take the belt off Lashley to begin with, but whatever.
It's stupid, but hey.
Yeah. Either way, if Lesnar takes the pin, it's stupid.
Absolutely. Last one. We got about a minute-ish. Roman Reigns, Goldberg for the Universal title.
Goldberg wins, does not win the title.
Joe?
They're going to do another schmoz finish with Reigns.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Reigns.
I'm taking Reigns too. I think Goldberg's going down, and
He's going to
get his last match.
Reigns is going to
Goldberg. Last match in the contract, so Vince likes burying that guy on the way out.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Mark Hoke Show. We appreciate it. At Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, MarkHokeShow.com, MarkHokeShow.podbean.com for all those podcasts. Great shows in the archives. Check them out. Vegas, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Thanks, Fish. Thanks, Joe. Have a good one.